All right, everybody, welcome back to another video. I know I've been gone for a while, but in today's video, we have quite a few things planned. The first step for today is I got a few new things for the garage, and I'm going to show them to you, and then we are going to clean up this mess that I have here. I'm currently between jobs right now, so I got a little bit of free time, so we're going to be cleaning up some of the garage here, putting some of the shit away that doesn't need to be out, and kind of just making it look a little more tidy, especially since the second part of today's video, I will be working on a 2024 Hyundai Sonata N-Line. I think it's an Elantra. No, it might be a Sonata. I don't remember. But last weekend I put a mid pipe on it and a solid charge pipe, and this weekend, today is Sunday, the day before Labor Day, we are going to be putting a downpipe on it with a high flow cat. He's trying to do everything he can within his warranty. He has a JB4 tuned currently, like I said, solid charge pipe. It's got a hot air intake, mid pipe, and a muffler delete. And the car is pretty damn quick, I will say. But let's get on to the first part of today's video. So, as you can see here, like I said, I got a few new things. These are all stuff that I just used at work that I am no longer currently using there. So, I got some new snippers for the garage, another pair of Dykes snippers, whatever you want to call them, needle nose pliers, everybody loves those. And then I have an assortment of wrenches here going from 3/4 all the way down to 3/8. I do not use a lot of this standard stuff. A lot of the stuff I work on, because I have a Japanese car and things like that, is millimeter. It is not, it's not your standard stuff here. But I do still own a truck, and I do still work on American vehicles, and I plan to own more American vehicles from this point going forward. So these will come in handy. I do have a voltmeter. This is a Fluke 110, which is very nice. Some Inksol markers. And then the biggest thing, which you might have saw in the beginning, my uncle, shout out to my Uncle Ryan. Now this is a very small tank. This only goes up to 180 PSI, and it is quite little to be using the way that I'd like to use it, but to airing up tires and things like that, and getting a blowing attachment to blow things off after fixing things, this will do great. I did fit the line directly to it because I have no intentions of taking the line off or changing the line anytime soon. But I do have the quick disconnect as well still. I do have to buy some tools to go on the end of the actual cord. But for now, we are going to be finding this thing's forever home and doing a few things to find a way to get this hose out of my way and off of my bench. So the first actual step of today is going to be getting the Subaru WRX out of the garage, because this is where I will be working on the Elantra, and I'm also going to be, I keep saying Elantra, it's a Sonata. I'm also going to be sweeping off the floors today, and this just so happens to be in my way. So let's get it out of here. Now, for those of you who have watched my POV videos and you have seen this spot in the WRX, you have known that it has had no shift boot forever. Now, I did just kind of mount this one in there the other night. Excuse me. So it is a little bit off. You know, it kind of needs to sit up here a little bit more and whatnot. And it's still getting broken, and it's a very thick shift boot. But I think it looks a hell of a lot better to actually have a shift boot in here rather than just an open cavity down to the trans tunnel. So I did not show you guys that process, but I did put a shift boot in this the other night as well. All right, so my first step for the day is going to be putting all of the tools that I have out away. It's time to find homes for all of the new stuff that I brought in, things such as the generator, and then other things just as, trash. It's time to get trash off my desk and all these microfibers off my workbench, and things that I had used and I left open, other recording equipment, which I have all over the place as well. It is time to put it back in its home where it belongs. Okay, so I've got my first two drawers done. So this is my 3/8 drive drawer and my metric drawer. So it's got all my millimeters, things like that. My abundance of 10 millimeters stashed here. I just got a set of wrenches here and a set of wrenches here. These are gear wrench, these are non-gear wrench. This one is a non-gear wrench, but it's there. A 3/8 ratchet, these are all millimeter going up to 21. My extensions and whatnot, that's in that drawer. And this one here, it's a lot more slim pickings here, but this is my standard and my 1/2-inch drive drawer. So all of these, excluding the spark plug sockets, I have an assortment of spark plug socket sizes as well, but all of these are 1/2-inch drive. And then this is all of my standard, all of my Duratec wrenches, and then I got an 11/32, a quarter, and a 5/16 and a non-ratchet here. And then I also have a 13/16. Over there in that bag, I have a bunch of wrenches of all sorts of sizes. But I got two 1/2-inch, can't think of the word, but, and then I have a 1/2-inch extension as well. More will be added to this drawer when I get more 1/2-inch sockets, but I currently don't have any. And then if we look out there, if we look here, this has a 1/2-inch set in it as well. This also has some 1/2-inch stuff inside of it. And then I have a set specifically, I guess these are 1/2-inch as well, specifically for taking wheels off of cars like that, like this car here. As I'm kicking shit, has fancy TSW rims, and you don't always want to scratch them up using a regular socket. So I have these, you come in here, maybe if you can get it open, you pop this open, and they've got sleeves on them, and hang on. The sleeve also slides off if you need a little more clearance, and then pops right back on. So if it's too big with the sleeve, you pop the sleeve off, and it's got quite the assortment of sizes. It's got a 19, a 17, inch and a 16, 13/16, 21, 7/8, and 1 inch. So I mean, it goes all the way up to full size 1 ton and 3/4 ton trucks, like everything. And if it's Pittsburgh, so it's a pretty good set. And then obviously I've got this Pittsburgh set as well, but this one is missing 3 sockets in the whole set. One of my 1/2-inch sockets here, and then I'm missing a 14 and an 8. But not really too worried about that because I got my 10 in 3/8 and in my 1/2, and a 10 is all you ever seem to need as a mechanic ever. So, and then even if I miss this 10, I have an adapter to use my 1/2-inch 10. Just go from 3/8 to 1/2-inch. So, this is a pretty handy little set to have as well. And then that is just a regular Hyper Tough set. I got this for Christmas one year. And sometimes it's handy to just have the random shit that's inside of it. I mean, as you can see, it's got wrenches, it's got little driver sets, Allen wrenches, screwdriver. I mean, it came with a bunch of stuff. So this one here, this is my power drawer, as you can see. And then that's pretty much it so far. Obviously, I put my 2 new sets of dikes or snippers or whatever you want to call them, and my needle nose, and then my actual cutters. This will cut up to really big gauge wire. I think it cuts, I don't even remember. I think it cuts all the way up to like number 2 wire. And then obviously I've got my crimpers and my snippers as well, and then just my assortment of other stuff. I am going to be getting a set of snap-on pliers because I used snap-on pliers at work all the time and I lost them in the field. So that kind of sucks. But we're gonna start getting the rest of that shit put away, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so as you can tell, I got a few things cleaned up. I still have a few other little things. I'm redoing the doors for our bathroom. I did have to take the checkered flag banner down. It will be going back up, but I took it down for that. Now, like I said, it is a very small compressor, but that is the wheel off of a Corvette. It actually came off of my stepmom's Corvette, and as you can tell, I have my very little amount of hose reeled up on it. I've got it plugged in right there. I'll pull this a little bit. Got nails running down to hold the wire completely straight as it goes down, so it's not all willy-nilly and looking all goofy. I have not even, now that it's sideways, it's throwing me off, but I have not even turned it on. It is brand new. I mean, he just bought it. But that right there is where that checkered flag used to be hanging. So we took that down. I got the vet wheel hanging up, and I had to make my own kind of little piece here. And there was a hole that was already in this piece. I bent it at a 90-degree angle, and it's got a little hook on it, and it hooks the rim here. I mean, it's very sturdy. But the actual screws that I had to screw it into the stud here were too small. So I used I don't know if you can see it. It's a 12mm socket. I stuck a 12mm socket on there, and it worked as a perfect spacer. That right there is what we call redneck mechanic ingenuity. And I did end up having my own, I mean, obviously it doesn't look as nice as the rest of the copper stuff, but I ended up having my own quick disconnect that I had here that I just threw on real fast. So this thing, once I get actual fittings to go on to the hose, will be good to go. I should be able to air up the Subaru's tires, my woman's tires, the truck's tires. You know, I still gotta, that's a rack for the Subaru, which I'll never put back on. Those are Honda wheels that came on the Subaru with, you can't really see it, but there's adapters down there because these are 5x114. Subarus are 5x100. There's a hitch here that goes on the back of the Subaru. I took that off. That is the mid pipe for the 2024 Sonata. And this, I don't know if anybody has been here long enough to remember the roll pan bumper I put on the Ram, but I put a roll pan bumper on the Ram, which required I take that off. That's the hitch for the back. Little heat shield plate, gotta get rid of that, but I got my boxing side all cleaned up. All my wraps and my gloves and everything are where they belong. I don't know what to do with those yet, and I would like to find a better way to mount my bike somewhere else, but for now, I believe that works. But I got all of the floor cleaned up. I have my VQ35DE right here. This is actually a front wheel drive version. One once again, really don't know if anybody's been around long enough to remember when I blew up my G35 sedan. So I blew up my G35 sedan and I spun a rod. So what had to happen is I needed a new crank, and then I ordered a engine rebuild kit for $1,000. So I found this engine on Marketplace for $250, and it burnt oil, which I didn't give a shit about because the only thing I needed out of it was the crank. So we took the original crank out of it. We put the bad crank back in this one, and we are turning it into a table. As you can tell, I got the stands here. And one of the other stands is sitting up there to hold my window, and then this is the other one here. I got to drill a few more holes. The pistons are the legs for the table. And when I tell you this son of a bitch is heavy, I mean, it is heavy. More or less just awkward to carry all by your lonesome, but it is heavy as shit. So I got bored and I stuck the old coil packs in it. And I think I'm actually going to put the valve covers I have down there on it. I think I'm going to paint them some color and stick them on it, because I can't sell the damn things. Because once again, don't know how long anybody viewing this video has been here. But those valve covers right there, the blue and the silver, the filler neck for the oil has a hole in it. So I could never use them and I never sold them. So I'm just gonna end up sticking them on this and make it a pretty table. I'm gonna end up putting some lights in the center here and stuff like that. So, you know, it'll illuminate through the head and come out of here. I think it'll be pretty cool, but yada, 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 so on and so forth. One more thing I did get that my woman got me is this bad boy. I can sit on it like so, and I can roll myself around the shop. Well, I call it a shop, but it ain't a shop. So that little thing's pretty cool. You pull a pin. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. You pull a pin. Pull a pin and it lays down as a creeper as well. It's called a Z creeper. So I really like that thing, because changing wheels and tires and things like that, especially on a tiny little car, it's nice to sit on the seat instead of having to sit my ass on this dirty ass floor, which is what I'm sweeping next. But that, and one of these is my buddy's, so disregard that. The dirty one on the bottom is his. But I got a new drain container as well for oil changes and whatnot. And I got my little charging station here. I got DeWalt, Hyper Tough, Bauer, and then this is WorkX. This is actually for my weed whacker that I have, so we don't need to worry about that. But that is pretty much as clean as I'm gonna get it before my sister's boyfriend is gonna make it here with his Sonata. So I am going to cut you guys off. I think this is a pretty cool place to end for now. And then I will talk to you guys when he shows up with his car. All right, so as you can tell by my face and my hair, we obviously just got done installing his downpipe. he did just leave. That cold start, I wish camera did it justice, was so fucking loud that I am pretty sure that my neighborhood is gonna be outside with stakes and torches and try to hang me. But, ran pretty good, no exhaust leaks, hell of a lot louder. Definitely very quick as you saw in the video. I would like to get the Subaru tuned, actually, and run them against each other. I think that'd be pretty fun. But I do think with his 8-speed dual clutch, he's just gonna right by me because he doesn't have to shift at all. But I do have some things coming for the Subaru here soon as well. Most of it being maintenance. But as you can tell, over there, the garage is an absolute mess again because we had all of my tools scattered all across the ground. But I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. A little bit of car stuff, a lot of garage stuff, but that is going to be it. Peace out and have a great rest of your night.